Hey, Justin Maust with Leader Legacy, and I just wanted to take a minute. Well, we're just a few days away from Lead USA, and we've got lots of planning going on. And I did an interview with a couple amazing guys. Number one, Jason Lippert, the CEO of Lippert Components, and then his Director of Leadership, Mike Gardy. And I just wanted you to be able to see what's going on, how these guys make decisions. We had a couple questions I thought were really relevant to your world. So let's go to the interview right now. I want to first start off and say thank you. You guys you have helped shape Lead USA this year. Mike, you and I talked months and months and months ago about who would we love to bring into this community. And I remember the conversation, and Bob Chapman is coming because of our conversation. Karen Hurt is coming because of our conversation. And I just wanted to take the lid off a little bit. We're going to dive inside of the organization of what does it look like for leaders that are leading at a very high level to have huge impact. So I just have a couple questions. All the clients that I serve, they talk about turnover issues. And they're facing this difficulty of keeping good people, but yet the unemployment is so low that they can't fill the pipeline. And so have you guys wrestled with turnover? What's been the issue? How have you addressed it? Help us out.
Yeah. Well, I'll start. We didn't really start wrestling with turnover and attrition until, 2013, and not much before then, I hadn't even heard the term. So I think in this community here in Elkhart County, where there's maybe over 100,000 people, in a close-knit manufacturing community, everybody just deals with attrition. I don't know how it works everywhere else in the country, right. But here everybody just dealt with it, and it's just part of doing business. And people leave, and you replace them. Right. And it wasn't until I think our company got, to the size where we had several thousand employees, back a few years ago, where 100% attrition on a few thousand people it hurts. Yeah. So we got to the point where we said, hey, look, at 800 people, we didn't really notice it. We had plenty of capacity to be able to bring great people in, and if something happened to somebody, we'd bring new people in. But once you got to 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 people, it drained resources from important parts of doing our business day in and day out, to just focusing on how do we get people in the door.
And what I saw, we've spent a lot of time together, and what we've talked about is, when you first took over as CEO, the company was around 118 million in gross revenue, correct? And now it's almost $2 billion. You have about 8,200 employees, and you've been doing this for how many years?
22.
And so just you've watched how this whole thing has happened. When you talk about turnover, what have you guys done to have the impact? Because I know that your turnover has gone down, your attrition has gone down. People are staying at Lippert more now than they were before. Right. What have you guys done to make that happen?
One of the first things that we did was recognizing where our people are working. Everything is about our people, and so we had to look at our facilities. We had to look at, if we truly care about our people, we truly care about their work environment, then we got to clean it up. We got to take care of it. We got to provide them decent restrooms. Yeah. We got to provide them break rooms. Essential lighting. Cleaner air, cleaner. So we poured a lot of money. We invested in our own facilities to really, show them and recognize we do care about you, And so your work environment is important. They spend, a lot of time, right? Half their life, working.
Half their life working.
And who wants to work in a grungy, dirty, just thrown away? And that becomes the norm and the expectation.
Yeah, we're manufacturing. We don't have, 500 or 5,000 office jobs. It's we've got manufacturing facilities, and we're welding, and we're painting, and we're fabricating, and it's tough work. So when we started focusing on turnover and attrition, the first focus was we realized how much it was costing us, and more importantly, how much resources it was draining from our day-to-day stuff that needed us to focus on the business strategy.
Yeah, so, rehiring, all the paperwork, the admin work, getting people in the door and out when they leave. You have to do paperwork for that. All that time, all that energy is being lost. So give me the feedback. Since 2013 or 2012, you started saying, okay, we're going to change this. Yeah. What was the percentage, and what is it today?
Yeah, so it was roughly 110% in 2013, and through the first 4 months of this year, we're about 40%. We're way better than industry average, but we're still, not where we want to be. But, I think the most important thing is we've driven into the attrition and what drives it. It's all on creating a culture, kind of like Mike was talking about, where we focus on people, whether it's facilities, whether it's leadership training, whether it's all the things that are going to make this place feel like a home for half for half of people's lives. They're spending it here, so we got to make it feel like a home, and we can't just talk about it and give it lip service. We got to actually do things on a daily basis and be consistent.
It's easier to pour the money into the facilities, right? Because that's just money going into our business.
Right.
But along with that, we really started recognizing take care of our people. We have to build meaningful relationships. We have to connect. We got to start caring, knowing them.
Yeah.
Caring about them, talking to them, communicating them, giving them greater sense of purpose behind what they're doing, and creating alignment. And it's been a journey that we've been on.
And you got to do both. I mean, I think about when I grew up as a kid, my dad didn't just tell me that he loved me. He did pay for my basketball shoes. He did pay for some of those things that told me on 100 different ways that I mattered on a regular basis. In fact, just coming over here today, I stopped by his house, and he's making something awesome for this Lead USA event, and he's still committing time to making my life better. Even though I'm 42 years old, it's that thing that I matter, right? Yep. And I know it, I feel it every time I go there. I get that from my mom and dad, and that is something I think is lost in corporate America, is we don't really know how to tell people they matter in the work environment. And you guys you're doing things a little bit different than the way that you used to. And some of your employees, Lippert employees that have been around since 20, 30 years, they're seeing a different side of Lippert Components than what maybe they saw when they were first starting out. Mm-hmm. What do you think is the biggest driver? What do you think has been the biggest change for you guys to make Lippert different than what it was?
Well, first it was, we had to turn the focus on our people. And, it kind of came out of a leadership session with our top executives. And, I remember we were sitting in a room, the facilitator asked us he goes, everybody describe the company culture. And he was messing with us because he knew we didn't have anything defined.
Right,
So we all sat around the room and we described 3 phrases, keywords that we all felt described our company. And we got all pumped up about it. We put everything up on the board, and everybody had something similar but a little bit different. And we consolidated it all. And he said, okay, everybody pick 5. And we were all pumped up because we had all these great things that people would describe our company, or we want to describe our company as in the future. And we ended up voting, and we came up with a top 5 that became our core values ultimately. But the funny thing was that at that point in time, we realized we had no way how to explain our company to our people, who we are, who we want to be, who we want them to be, and calling out ultimately the leadership and people that we want by having these values. And that was kind of the light bulb that went off to start the core values journey that we started driving through our company. And ultimately that help people identify with the company. We started determining who could stay, who needed to move, how we brought people into the company based on those values, and that's drove a lot of the turnover down because we just we gave people an identity.
So it's not just this is where we're headed as a growing organization, but this is the way we're going to do the work. This is the way we're going to engage each other. It's not just a vision of the numbers and a vision of how many facilities, the 50 facilities across the country. It's about this is how we're going to operate together. What keeps you up at night, knowing that you're the director of this behemoth entity? That director of leadership is a big deal. Yeah. What keeps you up at night?
Absolutely nothing. I am so exhausted. I sleep like a rock.
That's awesome.
And I lay down and I'm out.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. It's for me it's pouring into the lives of people, and I got a great opportunity, responsibility, but an opportunity and privilege that I sit with a lot of our managing leaders throughout the company. And I get to touch their lives. I get to impact. They share their life with me, and it's a journey for us. And everybody's at different position, like levels, just in their journey, right?
Yeah.
And so, but it's pouring in, and it's heavy, right?
Yeah.
You bear a lot of burdens. Leadership is heavy. Leadership isn't easy.
Yeah.
And you ask, man, why aren't more organizations and people doing this? Because it's not easy.
Yeah.
It's easy to just do business, just make money, just focus on your stuff, but you miss the heart of people. And when you really tap into the heart, it's weighty.
Yeah.
Now we're wired differently. I mean, Jason's an extrovert, and he's got a lot of juice. I'm an introvert, right? So when I'm pouring into people, and it's tiring.
Yeah. Yeah.
Going
right.
home, right. But here's the thing, right? I sleep like a rock, but I'm waking up before my alarm.
Are you whining right now?
No. I wake up at 4 in the morning, right? But
I know.
But I'm waking up before my alarm because
Yeah.
I'm excited
Right.
for the opportunity to connect and to pour into people's lives.
Yeah.
And it's amazing what we're doing.
Oh man.
And it's a great privilege to be a part. It's fun to be a part of this. It's fun to see lives change, and it's about transformation.
Guys, I want to thank you both. Number one, for investing into Lead USA and making it possible. I mean, literally, you know, together we're going to have an opportunity to impact about 1,300 to 1,500 leaders live in South Bend, and another 1,500 leaders across the country with all the sites that we're going to be serving. And that wouldn't be possible without Lippert Components and your decision to get behind this thing. So, number one, I think you're bringing about 120 people to the event. But what are you most excited about the event, and why should someone else, some other leader, decide to bring their team?
Well, I can tell you for me, I mean, the defining moment for me to jump into this Everybody Matters initiative was just listening to Bob's 10-minute TED Talk on truly human leadership. So, I mean, his message is that concise and clear and understandable for businesses on how to lead, where to take their company when it comes to culture and what's most important to be a successful company. He can do that in 10 minutes. Just
Yeah.
So that's, and you guys have taken a great initiative to contact a lot of great people like Bob and bring him here, and I think it's good. Leadership is what's going to be the game changer in the future. We're all taught, like Bob will say, we're all taught management. We're all taught how to manage, and that's not going to get us to the next level. It's going to be leadership, and people just it's more of a foreign concept than not, and that's what they're going to get out of this Lead USA.
Yeah, but what I really like about the events is it's an off-site, right? It's something that we need other people speaking in. It's not that they're likely going to bring anything that isn't common sense that we shouldn't already know.
Right.
But the reality is we get settled, we get into our rhythms, we get into our patterns, and we think we know what we're doing. And it takes sometimes an outside voice to speak a truth that you're like, man, okay, there's the light bulb. We have leadership development in-house.
Yeah, I know.
Right? But I still want that outside person coming in and speaking it, because different people resonate with different people. Like, we're not cookie cutter.
John Maxwell always said, and I've stolen it, so now I've said, events challenge people, process changes people, and you guys are going through an entire process to create the kind of culture that is going to help you get where you need to go. But the event is designed to challenge people. And so for me, that's why I even started Lead USA, is I want to bring amazing leaders to this region to challenge people to think differently about what they can do within their companies and what they can do with their own lives. So just thank you. Thank you for what you do. Thank you for what you're doing in Lippert Components. And thank you for being a part of this massive community event. I'm just really grateful for you guys.
Thank you. Thanks
Awesome.
for all you do.
Thank you.
Appreciate the opportunity.
See ya.